Welcome to the Featured Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Jack.
And I'm Rick.
And today we're going to be talking to you about the Irregular at Magic High School Reminiscence arc, which is a short OVA, also known as a kind of short movie, which is a continuation of the Irregular Jeb's recommendation. We have one more week of irregularity, and then we'll finally get on to good stuff, in my opinion. But before that, we were talking about some of the series that I'm watching and kind of wish I wasn't watching at the exact same time. If you want to hear that wider conversation, go to patreon.com/featured anime podcast, $8 a month to get you access to the bonus content. And now on to the meat and potatoes. All right. The Irregular at Magic High School Reminiscence arc is honestly, this is a flashback special, and it tries to fill in the gap from both season 1 and 2 and the things that they kind of glossed over. 4 years before the main story. We have Tatsuya and Miku's relationship. It's basically nothing like how it is right now that you see in season 1 and season 2. It's closer to a master-servant relationship, which is actually how it was supposed to be all along for them. Miyuki is genuinely uncomfortable actually around Tatsuya, and he's just kind of there emotionless for the whole time, and he does lack visible emotion. The turning point happens during a family trip to Okinawa when the region gets hit by a sudden and unexpected invasion from an unknown naval force. Miyuki and her mother, who's also Tatsuya's mother, end up caught directly in the middle of it, and their survival ends up depending entirely on Tatsuya and him being as capable as he is. Basically, we got to see the beginning of season 1 again and the result in why he was doing that, as well as the foundation of what made their relationship to the point it is today, and why she is so infatuated with him at the exact same time, with answers, I guess, about him and why he's emotionless.
I thought they were really good answers, to be perfectly honest.
Yep. So,
that's where we're at.
Yeah, that's where we're at. Okay. So, I have notes, obviously. Shocking. Okay. I know. So, so being that this was a flashback, we got
Resonance arc.
Right. Reminiscence arc. Yes.
I was close.
So season 1 talked about bloodline and how it was important. Season 2 never touched on it.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are yet again in a backstory about it. No reasons as to why it's super important. Okay. It's not that you're born innately powerful. We got that answer. So there's no real reason for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's still an unanswered question. We were told the Yatsuba clan was basically untouchables in the second season, and I just want to point out, they were touched. They got touched a lot. They were touched, and then they were touched again, and then they were touched even more, and then they came back, and someone just poked them with a stick afterwards. They were touched, so they ain't untouchable.
Maybe they are now.
Yeah, sure.
An irregular.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. We still have no reasoning, no answers behind any of that.
So here's my thought process, right? The good Lord giveth and the good Lord taketh away. So you've got someone with no aptitude paired with someone with amazing aptitude. Although, if I'm being 100% honest, that has nothing to do with my theory now. I think that instead of being just a Kekai Genkai of prowess, I think that they gained prominence and they gained power, and they rose to identify themselves as I'm thinking that instead of it being a power scaling base, like, hey, you've got to kick a Genkai, you're strong, you're this, you're that. Instead of it being that, I think that the families, the 10 families that they eventually become named, rose to prominence in a less than legal manner, let's call it. And then in order to keep their status, I feel like maybe each house, each family has a strength that they're able to pass on. Like, hey, I took this particular set of skills to this limit and I've turned them into a speciality. And now I can hyperfixate and teach my children, teach my family, teach my bloodline this particular grouping of strengths. Like one of the families is built like a brick house, and it has copious amounts of strength enhancing magic. The Yotsuba seem to have, I don't know if it's a market, I don't know if they've cornered it, I don't know if it's a them specific thing, or maybe just people in power in general, but they're able to take someone with no magic aptitude and essentially impart via surgery, via transference, however you want to place it, basically reawaken someone's ability to be a magician, as they did with Tatsuya. And what I really liked about this, I actually liked this part. It explained why he was so aloof, but it also
it's not that he's aloof.
How strong.
It's not that,
he turned off all of his emotions.
Yeah, and it's not that he was born with magic and that they have people that can become magicians. He was part of an experimentation because he had zero magic, and he can only do two fundamental things with the magic, which is basically break it down and bring it back, and that's it, nothing else. And magicians,
I thought he was born with that.
No, that is the result of them, quote unquote, giving him power. That was the result of it. I
thought the result was disaster computation.
No, the result was him going from having zero magic, because he was born with zero magic, to being able to do that.
I don't know why. I literally watched it again this morning. I thought, I could be wrong. I could be just reading this completely wrong. I thought he was born with the ability to build stuff up and put it down.
No, that's the result. It was
hyper limited. That's the result. Okay.
That's the result, because they said, and I quote, he is born without magic, so we did an experiment on him to try and give him magic, and as a result, all but one emotion went away, and he could only do this. And you can't be the head of the Yotsuba clan and not have any magical powers. They did specify that. Okay. Now,
they absolutely did, yeah.
I also want to point out that his is to break down and bring back, right? Break it down completely and bring it back. You know, I just want to point out that he can also fly like other people do, and he can do other things like other people do. It's not just relegated to those two things like they're claiming that's all he can do. He also doesn't need a CAD, but to be able to do those, he can do that. But I also want to point out that literally, if their whole thing is, oh, he can only do this thing and nothing else, I would like to point out Miyuki can only use ice. Someone else can only use fire. Someone else can only do one particular type of magic. It literally, you have a guy that calls out his attacks. That's his magic.
Okay. Yeah. I thought Miyuki, yes, she used ice, but in the battle in season 1, I think it was season 1, he used fire and then ice.
No.
So I thought she was able to use more than just...
No, she just used ice. Her opponent was using fire. Oh, no, you're right. She did use fire. You're right. She used Inferno or whatever it was. Yeah. She's the exception. Literally, no one else used any other magic though, other than that.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
And so you can't
I'm
say
stuck on it. I'm really trying not to be stuck on it, but I am stuck on it.
What I'm saying is you can't say that he's only relegated, and this is what they said in the movie. He doesn't have any magic. After that, he can only do this one thing. It's like he can do other things. He just can't have lightning bolts fly out his butt. Congratulations.
See, I thought again, I know I'm stuck on this. I apologize, but I gotta say it, otherwise it's gonna bug the crap out of me. I was under the impression that he had some ability, but they called him defective because he could only do the beginning stage that supposedly everyone else is able to do as well. Not to the extent he is, granted, I'll give you that. But I thought that the surgery was supposed to increase his processor speed, essentially, and give him more magical power. It just failed on him, which also regulated him to being a defective piece. So I thought it just gave him computing power. But I have a question for this. Do you think the computing power is given to him at the cost of his lifespan, which is why they always have to limit him?
No, I just think do you want me to answer, or do you want to ask your question
yeah, sorry.
again?
I was gonna clarify why I thought that, but yes, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I feel like what you're going to say is the reason why is because the one random maid that was there for the movie died because she had a short lifespan, but she was automated or augmented or whatever it was. He's not considered that, and they even state that in the movie. I will say that regardless of how it all stands, regardless of whether or not he was born with magic or if he was only able to do one or two things or whatever it is, because in my opinion, because you're saying he was born with the magic, he was able to deconstruct and reconstruct it, right? And that's what makes him special, right? That's what you're saying? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, hang on.
Yes.
Okay. So in my opinion, he is born with magic then.
He should be.
No, not should be. He is. Because if you're saying he is born with that, okay, he is born with magic. Okay. So the fact that he is born with magic, but they claim that he's not born with magic is bull. It's bull and doesn't give a real answer. In fact, it tells us absolutely nothing. And no, I don't think his life is going to be shorter because of the increased computational power, because I just think he's kind of boned in the amount of magic that he can hold within himself.
Okay.
I think they basically made him, I feel, right? So if we're going with that, and we'll stick with your theory, right? Or not theory, we'll stick with what you're saying. Because I like that a lot better, in my honest opinion. He was born with magic, but they just refused to acknowledge it. I like that a lot better than what I was thinking, where he's like, no, he's not born with magic, and they gave him magic. I hate that. Right? That pissed me off. Yeah. I'm sticking with yours, but it pisses me off. That. But it pisses me off even more though now that they're like, oh, he doesn't have magic. But he does have magic. It's like, yeah, but he doesn't have the special glowy, fluttery, flickery magic. But it's magic. I mean, like, it's magic, man.
Yeah.
Could you? I mean, can you deconstruct? Yeah, right? Can you do this? No. So I basically think, going back to what I was saying is, I think what they did when they did that was they turned him into a CAD, which is why he's able to use magic without a CAD. I think that's the ending result of it.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, that would make sense. Because
that's what I think. That's what
that
total hypothesis.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's a total hypothesis. All right, it's a total shot in the dark.
Now, I have a weird comparison I think that you would appreciate. So does that mean he's more like an AI? He's a CAD who can use a CAD. So he's an AI system that can operate Excel, let's say. A computer operating a computer, because he has different CAD stuff to use. He's just, his operating power, his capacity is hyper accelerated, but his magic capacity is hyper limited.
Yeah.
So he's still stuck with the construct and deconstruct.
Yep.
But because he's able to use the CAD, and he's essentially a CAD himself, he's able to AI his way around his own limitations, for lack of a better way to explain that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, they didn't do a good job at all.
Okay. So, what I did make a note that we did get the answer. As I said in the beginning, we did get an answer for like the whole him blowing up an entire Armada ship fleet or whatever it is at the beginning of season 1.
Mhm.
We get to see him actually and how he ended up doing that with the Reminiscence arc. But I would like to still point out that it was still a very magnificent and massive explosion, and dare I say, strategic class level magic that he did.
Oh yeah,
that
didn't he become strategic?
That no one brought up during that point. That no one talked about. They're like, oh, that was a magical thing that really happened. Cool beans, bro.
Is it possible strategic class magician wasn't available as a term back then?
Yeah, I'll totally buy that. Just like I believe that they decided to make that term up with the 7 magic beings that decided to spontaneously come into existence in season 2, and the random parasite that infects robots and other people. So yes, that's that. Okay. I think that term came into existence specifically at season 2, and boom, there we go. Hey, look at that. We got this thing. I do want to also point out that they showed at season 1 that he was subjected to horrific experiments to get, I guess, magic. And when they showed those quote unquote horrific experiments, it's his mother and aunt standing over him with their hands over him going, do-ah, diddy dum diddy do. And then,
yeah, pretty much.
And then, saying, hey, cool, hop up off the board, and there you go. So
I got one.
Okay.
So obviously he's got little to no emotion, or emotions, plural.
Right.
And it was stated by his mother that she squashed out as many emotions as she could to make room for this computing area, essentially. Now, his little sister looked at their mom and was like, I think it was a two-way street. You squished his emotions. As a byproduct is your emotions are gone too. She was very cold-hearted. Very, granted, she's a thug leader. She's a mafioso leader. So you're really not supposed to have too many emotions. But for her daughter to be like, you really don't show much at all, and it's not normal. Do you think that there was a backlash to the quote-unquote failed experiment?
Probably.
Okay. Now, along that same line of thought, what makes him different than an augmented person, similar to his sacrifice, I guess?
What makes him different? I'm going to say what makes him different is the fact that he was probably not lab grown.
Oh, so you think she was?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Possibly. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, I can buy that.
I mean,
that would make sense why there would be a difference.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I just want to point out like how they went into great details for strategic class and the 10 families and everything else. Like they threw these other terms out there like this augmented, and I forget the other one where they talked a little bit about it. They lightly brushed it in season 2, kind of lightly brushed it in season 1, kind of, and lightly brushed in this, kind of. It was so full of information, I just couldn't absorb it all. It was just too much.
That's what we're going with.
That's you know.
You guys are saying you're full. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep, I'm full of knowledge, and so my emotions have ceased to exist at that point.
Yeah.
Totally.
I would first believe that you were illiterate in a library and read the encyclopedia cover to cover with complete comprehension before I believe what you just said.
Yeah, totally, bro. That's 100% true. I did that.
Oh man.
Uh,
No, I will admit there were some glaring errors here.
yeah.
Um, more questions than answers. And it's not just like a question that can be answered. It's a lot of, at least in my opinion, a lot of why did they treat him like that? He's obviously this badass, ultra recognized person in their own family to the point where they have to limit him. They have to put a limiter on this kid. And even when he was not limited, or even when he was limited, he was able to send like a pulse cannon of deconstructing crap at people and at things and at magic. And he was able to do the resonant, whatever the hell you want to call it. I feel like, and take this however you want, I feel like the limited version of him in this movie was far more capable of the limited version of him in high school. For some reason, he lost functionality as he got older. And then when they made him unlimited, they took the limiter off. He was straight up disintegrating people.
Well, he was doing that. No, he did that in season 1. He did that in season 2. Still doing that in the movie. So that didn't change. Yeah, people. He did it freaking 5 miles away off of a rooftop with his gun, like sniping them.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, I'll give
season
you that.
1.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I was stuck in season 1 where they were like, I killed so many people. Everyone survived. It's because he went in there and went reborn, 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 reborn.
I do also want to point out that they talked about his reborn skill, but didn't talk about the negative effects, supposedly. Which
didn't talk about the drawback.
The drawback. It's like, that's the one great thing about it. But the drawback is... And then literally died. Like 3 people literally died.
Toast.
Brought back to life. So what's the pain for that? Like the pain was so severe that they died, but he feels it in a shorter amount of time at 150 times that, times 3, 4, 5, 6, like in season 1. Also, all those other people also died.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, but I thought it was kind of cool the way that they gave them an out to die. You saw their inner world, and his sister's inner world was torn to shreds. It would look like a bomb went off in a city. Just buildings collapsed everywhere,
right.
And she was obviously there. And you saw him trying to reach into her. I'm going to call it a soul space. I'm going to call it her afterlife. I don't know what, because she legitimately should have been dead. The amount of times that you know her fans, let's call them, reached out and touched her with lead.
Again, I mean, that's why I said it's, which brings more questions than anything else, right? First of all, I know that the other family totally wasn't there to be taken out. They were there for the Yotsuba clan, not for the other family, because when they said we could take the other, that when the Yotsuba said, oh, you could totally take the other people, they're like, yeah, totally take us. And they're like, I don't know about that. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, at that point, and then the fact that they're like, oh, they were here for that random people right there. It's like, no, they were here for me specifically. They broke into the base for me specifically. And then, so I going to it, right, to round it all off, right, we know the mother died. We don't know why the mother died.
Yeah.
We don't know for the reason that which she died. Maybe she has a weak heart from all her super magical magicness. That's why she's the head of the clan, because her magic is so powerful. Her heart can't take it. And then it just kaputs, which is that, or she's actually augmented. And that's why. I don't know. But in theory, right? If that is the problem, I mean, like, can't they just, I don't know, replace her heart with magic?
Ooh. Yes? No? Maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know about with magic. I know that she could have been saved, but she chose not to be because it was her last decision. It was her first decision of her own volition.
Yeah. All right. Another question for you, sir.
Yes.
Does this like really give you the foundation? Does this really like help set up season 1 and season 2 and really tell you why she is just why they went full twincest? I mean, like that's 0 to 100
Yeah.
pretty quick. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well, see, yes and no. Yes, they did, but at the same time, not even a little bit. And the reason why I say that is she went from disliking him for no reason other than she saw everybody else treating him like crap to I owe him my everything and he's my everything. He's my everyone. He's my she went from
well, it's not that.
I guess he's my brother to he saved my life and now I owe him everything.
Yeah. But it's not that she saw him being treated that way. She was told that she needed to treat him that way, but also because of how emotionless he was, really kind of added to it. And that the dead fish eyes that he always had too, just really kind of added to the effect. Although when she saw him smiling with other people, apparently he was not as emotionless as everyone likes to say he is, including himself. When he smiles, that's what really did it. It was love at first sight for her.
Was it love or jealousy?
Both. I'm going to say both.
Okay. Because I know that the one emotion that stuck around was his unyielding love for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his unhealthy, let's call it, love for her. But it just, he was a good faker, for sure. He faked out a lot of people, making them think he was useless. Turns out he's the most capable person in the world.
Oh, yeah, obviously, because he's more strategic than even the strategic classes out there.
Yeah.
So.
And at the ripe age of, what, 8, 9 years old? He was in middle school.
Yeah.
So let's give him 12 years old. Let's say he was 12. Okay. At the ripe age of 12 years old, he was somehow able to gather and garnish respect and admiration from grown men with military careers who somehow, some way in an emergency decided to become little girls who didn't know anything and just couldn't hold any kind of
anything
correct. I was going to say any kind of correct decision making skills that you would assume they would have been brought up with.
Yeah,
right? Overall,
go ahead.
Overall, it was frustrating.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I did get the answer as to why she's obsessed. I found it to be wanting and very lackluster of a reason. I feel like they could have done far better with the time that they were given. We had an hour and 11 minutes to watch this movie, right? And in that hour and 11 minutes, I would say 40 minutes were actually forward-moving progress. And the rest of the 22, 28 minutes was basically fluff, for lack of a better way to put it. Some of the things that I found to be a waste of camera space, let's call it,
right,
was the inner dialogue of randos.
Yeah.
And maybe not randos, like the chick who died, I felt like her inner monologue of, is he really like me?
Yes,
no, he's not like me.
He's like
he can't
me.
Be possibly anything like me.
He's everything like me,
but
and
maybe.
then some. It's magical. It's wonderful.
But, yeah,
makes me feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. Yeah, no.
And you're like, you could have gone without that dialogue. You could have had a conversation and spent less time.
Yeah, but given how season 1 and season 2 went, I know that that's exactly how it was going to go. And why would they give us information that we actually need? They would rather just give us information we don't need, like with everything else. So
Yeah.
I just want to kind of recap here a little bit.
Okay. Sure.
So we didn't get any answers having to do with the blood comment or why it's important or anything like that. Why nothing having to do with the clans or the importance or anything like that. Why they're called the Untouchables when that is by far not the case. We got an answer for why he's emotionless, kind of. We got an answer as to his magic deal, kind of. We got answers to why his scores sucked at school when it came to magic, kind of. We got an answer as to why Miyuki is so in love with her brother and vice versa, kind of. So did we actually get any real answers other than the fact that we saw them years earlier when they didn't love each other?
Kinda.
Did we get answers as to the strategic class and the whole deal with that?
Not even a little bit.
Okay. All right. Did we get answers as to like?
Well, see, I got a continuity. What the heck is going on here? In season 1, do you remember him turning that droplet of water into a nuclear explosion?
Yes.
It wasn't a massive bullet projectile like it was, here, was it?
Yeah.
It was.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he did the gun thing, and then they showed him point his finger at it, and he went pew pew, and then went boom boom, and then there you go. That was literally the first like couple minutes of season 1, episode 1. They showed that exact setup, that exact scene. Only difference is they showed him with more people there for it in the movie than they did at the beginning of the scene for season 1. In the beginning of season 1 scene, he was there with one other person. In the movie, he's there with 3 other people, 2 of which were military, and the third one was the renegade maid that was about to kill over and die anyways, that popped up a shield for it that he was shooting out of anyways. So again, I mean, it was the same scene because he did the shooting, he pointed the finger and he said bleh, and it blew up. We got a nuclear bomb that went off and created a literal tsunami. It wiped out Okinawa. But hey, he wasn't a strategic class then. It took him doing it a second time years later when they decided to invent the term fictitiously for it to happen. Yeah. Because obviously no one in the entirety of Okinawa saw that first one happen. No one saw that first one happen.
Why would they think that?
Exactly.
They no one in the rest of the world would hyper fixate on weapons in people form.
Right. Yeah. So there you go. That's what I got, man. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I do. And it makes frustrating sense why you'd be like, this sucked. Because I did like it for the most part. There's a lot of things that I had to be like, all right, don't worry about that. Just enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
You know what?
And the fact is, if you got to tell yourself to enjoy the show, you're already not enjoying said show.
Yes. Yes. So, on a scale of up to 10, sir, how would you rate this?
4. I was going to give it a 6. But, like, again, talking with you made me realize how many things were just not there. How many things were just missing in translation. So I know you're probably going to give it lower than that, but I liked the animation. I liked the minor amount of questions we got answered. I feel like they were the important ones. I feel like those answers were lackluster, to say the very least. All right, never mind. I'm giving it a 3.
Okay,
I just talked myself out of a 4. Yeah. I'm giving it a 3.
There you go. Because that's where I was going to go. I was going to go with a 3. Because, it existed. That's for sure. It was there.
It existed.
It certainly wasn't a parasitic episode. I'll tell you that right now. That's an improvement. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
It didn't go full on like, hey, action, pseudo weird romance deal to full on harem with parasites.
Yeah.
This we're getting like he's got his we're at the reminiscence point to where he's like, in the future I'm going to have my own harem. One of those is going to be a parasitic robot. This is my starting point. This is the beginning of my destiny. My journey starts today.
You're gonna know.
Yeah,
right.
That's where we were with this.
Yeah, the chick was like, "Let me die on my terms." She's like, "Nah, I need you in my roster."
Exactly. All right.
Oh man.
All right. So threes, 33. There you go. 3-3. Next week, season 3 of the Irregular Magic High School. Well, if you feel like we did too much justice, not enough justice, or anything like that, go to featuredanimepodcast.com. All our contact information, how you can reach us, how you can support us, everything else, all there, including swag, episode details, all kinds of good stuff is on there. And then patreon.com/featuredanimepodcast. Get yourself access to the bonus content that it comes out every single month, 2 bonus episodes every single month from yours truly. And until next time, I'm Jack.
I'm Rick, and we will see you next time.